Welcome. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can make your first $1,000 online using this tool that I created called Good Meals. Now, in the world, there are hundreds of millions of people who are interested in health and fitness, hundreds of millions of people who are wanting to lose fat, build muscle, get in better shape. Now, these people don't want to eat boring, cookie-cutter, generic meal plans, but they also don't have the time, energy, or knowledge to create delicious recipes that hit their macros as well. This is where you come in. That problem has a solution. That solution is Good Meals. You can create delicious recipes for people and sell it to them as a service. And the value comes from you solving their problems. So I'm going to show you exactly how to do this. I'm going to show you how to get your first 100 customers. I'm going to show you how to scale it, present it, and offer 3 different pricing levels to drive sales and make you your first $1,000 online. So I'm going to show you how to use Good Meals, create custom recipes that hit people's macros. So here's Good Meals. All you're going to need to do is click sign up. There is a 14-day free trial, so you can try this for 14 days without having to pay any money. And if you want to keep using this to make money, all it's going to cost you, the only risk to this investment is $20 a month. Now, I'm going to show you how to get your first 10 sales at $100, making it $1,000 online. Now, I'm going to show you how to create recipes using our AI recipe generator. So here's the flow. What you're going to do here is you just describe the recipe that you want. So the way I would do this is I would be asking the people who I've reached out to what it is they like eating. What sort of foods do they like? What foods don't they like? What do they wish that they could be eating on their meal plan, but they're currently not eating? You gather that information. You can use that to inform what it is you put in this field. So for me, I'm going to do an example of a dinner recipe that I would like to have, right? So I feel like eating turkey mince, jasmine rice, some vegetables that are high in potassium, savory flavors, no garlic, and a side of blueberries and kiwi fruit to get my micronutrients in. And it also acts like a bit of a dessert, right? So for me, my macros are 80 grams of protein, 25 grams of fat, and 100 grams of carbs. Now, all I need to do is create that recipe, and it's that simple. Okay, so here we have the recipe that's been generated. It's savory turkey mince with jasmine rice and potassium-rich vegetables. So you can see that my macros were 80, 25, and 100. This recipe's come in at 80, 25, and 100. Right, so I can go down, I can check the ingredients. I can see there's a bunch of turkey mince. I can see that there's jasmine rice, there's spinach, there's even sweet potato, mushrooms, blueberries, kiwi fruit, olive oil, some low sodium soy sauce, dried thyme, dried rosemary, ground black pepper, and some salt. Now, if I want to adjust any of these quantities, I can. So say that my recipe came back and it had too much protein, I can adjust the amount of turkey mince and it will adjust the protein, right? So I can go here, I can go 200, adjust that, and you'll see that the protein drops. Now, I want it to be 80, so I'm going to go back. I'm going to do it to 212. Perfect. There we go. Now, for this, you can then see that there are instructions. So here are the instructions. Perfect. Now, if this is a recipe that you like, you think that your client's going to like, then what you can do is save that recipe. Perfect. Now the recipe's saved. What we can do then, we can go to your saved recipes. We can click on this tab, and here we have the recipe card for this recipe. Now, what we can do here is we can screenshot this, right? So we can screenshot, boom, we've got the screenshot. We can then go to instructions. We can also screenshot that if we want. Perfect. Then we can put these into a PDF. Now, if you don't like this view, we do have another view in Good Meals. So all you need to do is go to the meal plan. We want to add a recipe. We want to select a recipe. We go to your AI meals, and this will load up the last one that you made. Now, this recipe card is a little bit different. We can save it here. You can put a different image on top of this if you like, but this has the ingredients and the instructions all on one convenient recipe card, and you can even adjust the servings and the ingredients will adjust accordingly. So if we want this to be 1 serving, 2 servings, or 3 servings, you can see that whenever I adjust that, the ingredients down here also adjust. So again, we can screenshot this. You can overlay a different picture if you want to. This is all up to you. We also have in Good Meals a variety of different recipes. So say you want to include a salad for your client. Well, perfect. You can do that just here. Now, this salad comes in at 233 calories. Just say you want that salad to be 400 calories. Well, when we click plus, what we can do is change that to 400 calories. Click save, boom. When we re-click this, all the ingredients will be updated so that this recipe now is portioned so that one portion or one serving of this recipe is going to be 400 calories. So what else could we do? We can come up with breakfast options. So we can say breakfast option that has bacon, chicken breast, egg, and potato, high protein, low fat, no added oils. Now, if your client is gluten-free, you could also put in gluten-free. If your client has other intolerances, like they don't like garlic or they don't like spicy food, you can make sure that the food isn't spicy or doesn't have garlic by just saying you don't want any of those things in the meal. So for this one, we'll do a bit different example. We'll say, just say the client has to hit meals that are 500 calories, right? So a typical breakdown for a 500 calorie meal is 40 grams of protein, 20 grams of fat, and 40 grams of carbs. Just as simple as creating that recipe, and the AI will do all the work for you. So here we have a protein-packed bacon, chicken, and egg breakfast hash. So we can scroll down, we can see what the AI's put together here. So this is pretty basic: chicken breast, bacon, potato, and eggs. Now we can see here that we've got 1.5 eggs. Now, this may or may not be ideal for your client. So what you can do is you could always change it so that it's just one egg. You could change it so that it's 2 eggs. This is entirely up to you. So this is going to be a breakfast hash. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to say, let's do 1 egg, see what the macros say. Cool. So then what we can do is we can bump up this bacon to get us closer. Perfect. So 38 grams of bacon, 77 grams of chicken breast, 193 grams of potato, and 1 egg. Then we click over to the instructions. It's going to run you through how to prepare this meal. Perfect. If you like this recipe, you think your client's going to enjoy it, save it. It's that simple. Now, if we don't like that recipe, right, what we can say is we noticed it was no vegetables, right? So low fat with some vegetables. We can just include that. We can click generate recipe again, and it's going to go off and it's going to create a new recipe with that extra information that we just provided. So protein-packed breakfast skillet with chicken, bacon, and potatoes. We're going to see what ingredients we got now. Okay, here we go. So we got chicken breast, bacon, potato, egg, cherry tomatoes, spinach, salt, and black pepper. So it's added a couple of extra vegetables there. If you want to get more specific, say you want sweet potato or you want something else, all you need to do is just include it, type it in. It'll do all the calculation for you. So again, we see here that we've got 1.79 eggs, not what we want. We're going to go to 2, just make it clean and even. Now, what that does, it bumps our fat up and it bumps our protein up. So we're going to think, okay, we need to reduce that just a little bit. So what we can do is we can drop off some bacon. So we can adjust that bacon. Perfect. We're going to go to 15. So that's close enough for this recipe. Falls within my tolerance, plus or minus 5. So then we've got instructions. Perfect. Run through the instructions, make sure they're good, they satisfy what you want. Perfect. We can then save that recipe. Okay, so we've seen how you can use Good Meals to create custom macro-tailored recipes for clients. Now, how do you get those clients? Well, I'm sure you've heard of this guy called Alex Hormozi, or maybe Sam Altman from OpenAI, that guy that helped create ChatGPT. Well, they have some fantastic advice. They have a playbook for how to get your first 100 customers.
So there are 4 common strategies to get your first 100 users. I'm going to go through them in order of roughly best to worst. You can email people you already know, and you can ask them to be your customers. You can call in all the favors with anyone you can think of, someone you took a random class with, someone you were friends with in high school. You should actually, if it's a paid product, you should actually charge. This is important. Remember, people are going to be inclined to do you favors. They're going to be too nice in what they tell you. So if it's a paid product, charge them. Another strategy is to research people that you think might use your product and then email them or whatever and ask them to try it. Conversion rates here are low, maybe 2-3%, so you'll have to do this to more. But you can send targeted emails and say, hey, I just made this new product. I'd really appreciate if you would try it out. Most people want to be helpful. They probably will. You can do social media, Hacker News, forums, press, whatever. If this is going to be your growth strategy, you need to figure out a way for it to be ongoing, not a one big pop and then go away. Most people who do this find that it works once. Then they call up the journalist and say, will you write about me again? And the journalist says, anything changed? No, but I really need users. Will you please write? The journalist still says no. Airbnb is an example of a company that made this work as an ongoing process. And they would do the craziest things. They just kept coming up with press stunt after press stunt. They would mail journalists giant boxes of cereal so they got on their desk. And they were able to get it to keep going. But that's hard. And finally, the laziest and least impressive thing you can do is to just buy ads on Facebook or Google and point people to your website. This is not what I recommend. I don't know of any startup that's gotten big starting this way. I include it because it's the idea that most people try.
There's 8 ways to get leads, and you should understand one of them very well at the very least. There's 4 that you can do on your own, and there's 4 that you can use other people for. The 4 that you can do on your own is that you can reach out to people you know. Like if you look at every single follower you have on every single social media, every email that you've ever collected across all your email accounts, you probably have a few thousand leads throughout your lifetime, and you just ask them if they know anybody. The second is that you can reach out to strangers one-on-one, and that's cold calls, cold emails, so forth. The third is that you make content, and then the fourth is running paid ads. So if right now you're like, man, I need to get more leads. If you're not doing one of these 4 things, that's why you're not getting more leads. There's no other way to get leads. Now, if you want to use other people to get more leads, you use the core 4 to do these 4. So you can get customers who then use those 4 things to get you leads. You can get employees who then use these 4 things to get you more leads. You can get affiliates, and then you can get agencies who can do those same 4 things. No matter which of those 8 things I just went over, the first 4 start with you. And so you have to master one of them.
Now, I can vouch for this playbook because it's the exact playbook I use to help grow Good Meals. I reached out to 100 people that I knew. Out of those 100 people, I had roughly about 20% get back to me and want to join the platform, start to participate in the testing phase and provide me with feedback so that I could improve the product. And that helped me to get it to this point that it is right now. So for you, all we need to do is follow their playbook. It's simply taking advantage or leveraging your existing network. If you go through your contacts, your followers on Instagram, followers on Facebook, people you follow on Facebook or Instagram or social media, there will be at least 100 people that you know that you can reach out to. Now you can either directly ask them, hey, would you be interested in this service? Or you can let them know what you're doing. You can send them a sample of what you're doing, send them 1 or 2 recipes to get their feedback on it, and ask them, would they know anyone that would be interested or that they might be interested in doing this? Would they know anyone that might like this service? Or do they know anyone who would benefit from this service? Do you know anyone that's wanting to lose weight? Do you know anyone that's recently started the gym or trying to eat healthier? Any of these sorts of questions can lead to opportunities. They can lead to connections. They can lead to potential customers. Okay, so we've gone over how you're going to get your first 100 customers. You've got that strategy in place. Now we're going to go over how to build your offering. What is it that you're actually offering these people? Well, again, what we're doing is we're creating value. We're trying to find people that have this problem. They don't want to eat boring cookie cutter meals, but they've got a goal that they want to achieve. They want to be healthier. They want to lose weight. They want to build muscle. So what we're going to do is construct your product so that it appeals to these people. Now, right there, we've got 3 versions that we can do. We can do a weight loss one or a fat loss package. We can do a muscle building or a bulking, and we've just got eat clean. Right? So hitting specific macro targets if they're just trying to maintain, they just want to feel better, or they're sick of eating boring stuff and they want to eat more enjoyable things whilst being healthier. So there's 3 initially. Now, what we want to do is we want to leverage the power of pricing.
If you have 3 price points, small, medium, large, where you move the middle will dictate how many of them you sell, even if you keep the small and the large at the same price. For example, let's say that we've got $5 and $10 as these things. If I put the middle very, very close to the top one will look like a steal compared to the middle because it's only 10% more and I might get a lot more stuff. And so if I wanted to sell more larges, I would push the medium right next to it and make it seem like a no-brainer upsell psychologically. On the flip side, if I wanted to sell more of the middle one, I would expand the distance between the large and the middle, and so that this one would look like the more reasonable option compared to the premium price. You should always have a very expensive thing to sell because you can drive more sales to the middle while also allowing people who want to spend the money to go buy the super expensive thing.
Okay, so what we learned there is we want at least 3 price points. Hormozy goes over why. So what we're going to do is we're going to give a premium tier. We're going to make this quite expensive. We're going to do an intermediate tier, the middle price. This is what we're going to want to get most people to buy. And we're going to do a cheap option. Okay. Now, when we're presenting our offer to these people, it's okay to offer something free to them first. So what we want to do is we want to have a couple of recipes that we can send through to show the kind and quality of recipe or the service that you're offering to them before they even have to pay any money. So your pricing is going to be based up to you. But the way that I would do it is I would do it the following way. So depending on who you are and your demographic, the people that you know around you, try and think of something that you think that those people could afford. What would be reasonable for them to pay for your service, right? So that could be your middle price range. Then we can do a cheap version, which is just like a sample of that. And then we can do a premium version. And this premium version is something that you might not sell a lot of, but it's going to make everything else look like better value compared to it. So for simplicity's sake, let's say your premium offer is $230, right? Then we're going to make the middle tier offer $120. And the cheapest tier we're going to offer at $100. Hypothetically, let's just say that you think that people around you would be willing to pay $80 to $100 for their meal plans, right? Now with this, what you can do is you can offer a premium service where they get extra things. So it's not just the meal plan. They get a certain amount of retries or a certain amount of recipe changes or some ongoing feedback, or maybe you provide, instead of just 10 recipes, you provide them with a 4-week meal plan where you do breakfast, lunch, and dinner options for them. This can be anything you like. But for this video, let's just keep it simple. I'm going to show you how you can package up an offering that is going to be irresistible for people to say no to. They're going to feel stupid saying no to your offer. So we're going to work off 12 recipes. We're going to do 3 meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and we're going to do 3 dessert options, okay? So we're going to have 3 different breakfasts, 3 different lunches, 3 different dinners. We've got 9. And then we're going to do 3 dessert options that they can substitute in to hit their macros as well. Okay, so that's 12 recipes. Very simple. Should take you just over 12 minutes to make all of those. Save them, and then you can start offering this to people. You can tailor all of these different recipes to that specific person, and it's only going to take a small amount of time for you to do that.